Back with another one, Bad News Brown. I want to talk a little bit about child support. Being that millions of men in America and a few women have been subjected to child support. So, this video is an attempt to, because I see a lot of good people caught up in child support, you understand, and it does more harm than good regarding the child. So, let me break it down, okay? For one, child support is more like a business as opposed to the interest of the child. Now, don't get me wrong, you got some fathers that do need to pay child support. But the unfortunate thing is, usually them are the fathers that's not working. So they don't care. They don't plan on working. So what usually ends up happening is a lot of the good fathers who do work, they end up being subjected to a lot of the BS that child support puts you through regarding garnishment of wages, etc. So again, I'm going to give y'all a few tips on what to do to kind of neutralize child support. Now, this is not an attempt to free fathers from their responsibility. It actually, because in order to defeat child support, it's simply going to be by you assuming more responsibility for the child. So let me break it down. All right, in a nutshell, regardless of who you are out there, if you're paying a significant amount of child support, and you probably, of course, want to get that changed. In my opinion, the easiest way to do that is to get joint custody of your child. And this is where I mean by this is not going to free you of the responsibility of being a father. It's just going to save you from getting them pockets hit. So, if you ask me, that's the first thing you need to do. Now, this is another thing. It doesn't matter if you have a felony or whatever, because I hear that a lot from a lot of people, and that discourages them from trying to get custody of your child. But speaking from experience, it doesn't matter. Child support is family law. It ain't criminal law. Everybody deserves to see their child, unless you are being convicted of rape or some pedo stuff. You deserve to see your child, even if you are homeless. Now, if you're homeless, you probably won't get joint custody, because the reason will be that, hey man, you don't have a home, you got nowhere to take your child. But you definitely can get visitation. You definitely can get visitation. Can't, from my experience, can't nothing stop you from seeing your child unless you got them certain charges. So I'm going to assume you don't got them charges. So I advocate you going for custody. And then you're going to settle for joint custody. And then you'll be able to spend time with your kids. You understand? Because a lot of in every situation is different. You definitely got some mothers that need that child support money to take care of the child. Then again, you got some mothers that they just blowing that money. Half that money ain't even going to the child. That's just her personal bag. So we really gotta do something about that, and that's what I advocate. So if you want to get rid of child support, the best way is to step up being a father and assuming custody. Other than that, you gonna keep paying child support. Your taxes is gonna get garnished. Your wages is already being garnished, and it's going to keep happening. And again, as I mentioned about child support being a business, because it is. Even from my experience, I remember it was November when I went to court and it was ordered that I had to pay child support. And they told me, well, okay, it's going to take a minute for the paperwork to process, so they probably won't start garnishing your wages from a few months down the line. So what that effectively did, unfortunately, is it already put me in the hole. So it was November. I believe I started paying child support that following January. So I was 2 months in the hole already. Now, you be in the hole in the neighbor's arrears. And everybody that pay child support know about arrears, which is pretty much interest. And that interest keep on stacking up. You understand? When I finished off my child support, just looking at the amount, most of it was arrears. It wasn't even what I actually owed. But I took care of it, so what's done, it was done. It's done. You know what I mean? I'm 2-0. But again, man, for guys and people out there that's paying child support and you want to get that off your back, well, you simply just gonna have to step up in responsibility. That's basically the quick legal way. Now, I'm in California. Now, of course, every state is gonna be a little bit different. Some states, they take you to jail for not paying child support. They don't do that out here in Cali. They'll take everything else, but they won't take you to jail. So that's the best way. Again, you got some fathers that do need to pay child support, but usually them are the fathers that ain't working. They ain't really doing too much anyway, so the child support order ain't affecting them. So usually a lot of good fathers or would be good fathers get caught up in that. And every situation is different, but the general move I recommend you do is to get joint custody of your children. Again, if you're homeless, you still can get custody. It'll be harder to do, but you'll get visitation. And all that should minimize the amount you pay. You understand? So I just want to put that out there because not only I'm seeing, but I'm hearing a lot of people caught up in the child support. And again, this is not to resolve people their responsibility of being a parent. But again, from my experience, child support is being ran like a business. And the interest of the child is kind of like a low priority. You know, from my experience, it's all about that money. So y'all take that with y'all today, man. I don't care who you is. If you're living in America and you pay child support, I don't even care what state. That's the first thing you need to do. You need to get joint custody. Now, of course, to file certain motions or whatever is going to be a cost. But you can get a fee waiver. I got one. So I'll recommend you get a fee waiver if you can't afford to pay for the certain motions. But do that. You understand? I recommend you do that. That way, to me, it is killing two birds with one stone in your case. You know, you're lowering your child support amount, and now you're spending more time with your child. You understand? So again, if you one of them people out there who want to get the child support lowered, but you don't want to assume no responsibility, this video ain't for you. Because honestly, it ain't no way around it. Either you gonna be an absentee parent or you gonna be a parent. Either or. So choose one. I'm out.